late. 9:14. Okay. It's going to be a short one.
Wow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Top of the time zone. I'm Alan Colvin speaking for Johnny J, President Station Manager of InnervisionFM.
Yes. So we're starting a little late today. Has some technical things going on with. It's a blind thing. So if you understand blind life, once a year, if you are not connected with vocational rehab and you haven't bought a professional version, and even I guess if you did, you have to update it, and all that stuff was going on today.
So once a year, Santa Jaws, that's the screen reader we use, comes with gifts and bearing of I can't do it.
Yeah.
Not a way.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. But it's this is my favorite number, so it all worked out. It all worked out, and I got to figure out some kind of malware is in my computer where it just shuts off by itself. So I don't know if that's who or what, but I have to fix that eventually. Oh, okay. So today is March 13th. It's a Monday. It's a beautiful day. And as you see in the thing, 1939, Hattie McDaniel was the first Black woman to win the Academy Award. Now, this lady, Michelle, she is the first Asian woman to win it this year. So they have to do something historical, as I figured it, historical. And let's see. So it was in 30. I'm going to see if I can hook this up like mathematically. So 1939. So we're in the third month.
Right.
Oh well. I can't hook up no numerological thing with this one. Oh, and
their birthday was today.
What's birthday?
My grandmother.
Hey.
Yep. Well, God rest her soul.
Happy birthday.
Yep.
March 13th.
Yep. March 13th. Let's see. Hey, Alexa, what cool stuff happened on today's date? She doesn't like me very much.
Oh man, and I just turned off my cell phone so I to get out of the echo mode.
What cool stuff happened on today's date? Nope, it don't love me no more.
No man.
Talk to me. Just like all these women in my life, they don't talk to me no more. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit paypal.me/InnervisionDenver. That's the best way you can help us keep the lights on. There's a couple of sponsors I want to mention without missing any. Christian Brothers Moving Company in Englewood, Colorado, Phoenix, Arizona, and also in the great state of Texas. We got Denver Grants, Eeny Meeny Fund. We've got Colorado Art Relief Fund. I think that covers those guys. If you want to be a sponsor for the show, hit us up at info@InnervisionFM.com. That's also the best way to be informed via our newsletter. And I guess you're going to be doing a little bit of a remake of a movie that you made in 91 called You and Me. Tell us a little bit about that, Johnny.
And that movie, we did it back in 1991, and we want to update it. And so we're doing a fundraiser for it that we send out emails every, I guess, Thursday? No, every Wednesday, talking about that to, I have this list of 5,000. So we got a few donations on that one. And we'd like to thank those people who donated. And so you could be a part of that as well. And you have some different perks. Go to our website, InnervisionRecords.org, to find out the perks you would get as a donor to this. And it's like, so we can win an Academy Award. We'll be the first blind people to ever win an Academy. Yeah, so it's like,
You're
oh,
the
okay.
first blind film producer in Colorado that we know of. And
Yeah.
you've also written a book called Six Shades of Blindness. That's
Mm.
available.
On
Is that on
Amazon.
Amazon? Yeah.
Amazon just in the hard copy form because I have to I haven't fixed the Kindle part yet. I will get around to it. I mean, so many hours in a day and not enough time in any of them.
That's
So
a cool thing because you also got a school going where, if you yourself, if you're a veteran or a disabled individual, whether you're blind or financially challenged, uh,
mm,
physically disabled, we want to be able to help you. So also check out the events page on InnervisionRecords.org for other uh,
yeah.
things that we've got going with regard to that
Yeah.
school as well.
You know what I found out? I called Metro and I wasn't able to get all this lady named Mattern, but I was able to get all of someone else in the office. And so she says like a three credit course in Colorado costs $1,056, and that's before they tack on taxes or any other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm offering like 8 modules, and so we just say if it was to take that at Metro State College, you just add up 8 times
Those,
1,056.
wow.
So yeah, it would get quite expensive, and but who knows? They might get another Biden who's one to forgive all your past college loans.
You
And,
never
and you
know.
know,
Never
personally,
know.
I don't even think it should even be that expensive. I mean, but because I think that most of that pay is going to pay administrative people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You
In
know?
fact, the information age being upon us, one would really wonder, well, if we've got all this information at our fingertips, why do we even bother to go get a 4-year degree or
Mhm.
some cases even a 12-year degree? It's awesome because, school used to be people could be a career student. They could go to school for years and years and years and rack up all these degrees.
Mm.
Now it looks like all we're doing is racking up debt with our
Yeah,
those
this is
degrees
true.
really don't really help us at all. They a lot of folks are going to trade schools these days or
Mm.
being encouraged to find something that they can get into a field that will provide them with a modicum of security, whereas degrees used to be the way to get your job security. Well, I'm all degreed up. I got 4 degrees in this and 2 degrees in that, and I got an alphabet behind my name. But
Mm.
it's swinging back around to where the degrees themselves don't make the person. The education itself doesn't make the person. It's experience.
Mm. Yes, and so get as much experience as you can, get that hands-on experience, and that will go even further uh, than a degree, because a degree it's good on paper. I guess you learn the theory, and I
Mhm.
guess maybe through the internships, maybe you get like the on-hand. That's where they say you get the on-hand, or maybe you can get the on-hand experience like during the courses. But yeah, it's pretty much to learn the theory. So it's an interesting process, and I mean I'm having a good time with it. Um, there's a song, because we're going to talk about the donkey first.
All right.
There's a song. Oh, ladies, there's a in the Old Testament in Numbers 22, and then I think verse 24, that talks about this prophet and his talking donkey,
Yeah,
and he this other guy has sent him to come curse the Israelites.
right.
And so he was going to do this, and the donkey could see that there was an angel in front of him with a sword ready to strike the prophet down. And he kept kicking the donkey, saying, hey, I want you to go this way. and kicking, and then all of a sudden the donkey, stopped and started talking to the guy.
Right.
Which I don't know, man. There were some pretty brave cats back in the day, but he was a prophet, so hey, strange things probably happen to him all the time. And he says, "Why are you beating me?" The donkey says, "Why are you beating me? I'm trying to save your life." Now, I'm paraphrasing what the donkey said, and because there's an angel right there with the sword ready to strike you dead.
Right.
Now listen up. There's a reason why we're not supposed to go there, right? Or go this direction. Okay, so I was reading further information. I didn't know that this was a distant relative of Lot.
Wow.
And if anybody knows the story, that's when Abraham prayed that his cousin Lot would be able to get out of this town that was called Sodom and Gomorrah. And you can read about Sodom and Gomorrah. So as they were going out the town, the angel says, "Don't look behind you, just keep going."
Right.
But the wife, she was curious, so she looked behind and she became a pillar of salt. Okay, and then they had 2 daughters, so they went. And this is really, really weird. I mean, first of all, Lot, he wasn't the most upstanding guy as far as like respecting his wife, his daughters, whatever. And when the men came to the door and pressed and wanted to have sex with the 2 angels, Lot said, "Hey, don't do this. But I have 2 daughters. You can have sex with them, get your freak on, and but leave these 2 guys alone." And I'm thinking, like, Lot, you're gonna throw your daughters to the wolves?
Wow.
Come on, Lot. Right. So now Lot is in position. He lost his wife. So his daughters, who are not very morally upstanding either, she says, "Let's get our father drunk because we need to continue our line and let's have sex with them." And so then they got pregnant and stuff like that. The older daughter did it. Then she went back to the younger daughter, said, "Let's do it again tomorrow night, get them drunk." And then they both had children. And so this prophet was from that line of insexual stuff going on.
Wow. That Bible, man, it's got everything.
Yes. It got some pretty interesting stories. Yeah.
Wow.
So I didn't know that this was that from that line of person until I read it this morning.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So I say that is to say this. Last Friday, I was going to this meeting and I was trying to put in the address to the meeting and it wouldn't let me. Right. And sometimes we're hard-headed, Sometimes God is kind of tell us something, sometimes we're late to something, and it's better that we're late because if we would have been on time, we would have had a car crash into us or something, something would have happened that wouldn't have happened if we got there on time.
Right.
Right. So it was saying like, just do the meeting at home, you have Zoom, whatever. And it's just really weird. The person we met with, and let me give you the song. There's a song by Cypress Hill called "You Want to Be a Rock Star," and in the song during the talking party says, if you meet a person in the music business and they might have did you wrong, or maybe they knew more about the music business and they didn't tell you, and then you find out, but then you've already been duped out of some money. Don't you're not supposed to don't bring it up, just slap hands like nothing ever happened and go about, because this is the music business.
Right.
Okay. So I had did 2 events with this guy, and where we were going to the meeting for, and one he cheated me out of the money. We're supposed to split the money evenly, right? But he felt like because he brought more people, he would just take a bigger cut, and that wasn't the agreement. Right. Okay, so I let that go. I move, and then next time I had a very rich friend that she used to do concerts in the backyard, and she invited us to do a concert, and she was very nice. She didn't charge any money. Well, then they were cooking like a Jamaican meal to serve to make some money off of the thing. But he decided he wanted to bring this person that made chicken.
I think you told me this story.
All
Go
right.
on.
And so I said, I said, okay, but we were supposed to just make money off the tickets, not money off of food, because the other, but I went along with it. And so what happened was this guy, when you have a lot of grease when you fry up chicken,
Oh, dude.
and this is not his yard, and he poured the grease out on her yard.
Oh, dude.
Oh man. And I'm
Dude.
thinking, how come you just couldn't take that back to, because you had a van and all that kind of stuff, take that back to your business and pour it out on your property.
Right.
Yeah. And so after then, she said, Johnny, if you're going to have any events here, I got to charge you $500.
Yeah.
Because, she and her husband cleaned up his mess. And so, okay, I got past that. Okay. So then at this meeting at the end, this crazy enough stuff started breaking out because, okay, say, okay, I'll put it in. Say somebody sent you a flyer and you saw it, but you were pretty much into going to this event, right?
Right.
And then they just kept sending you flyer after flyer, and then you said, "Well, I'm not really interested in going to any of those meetings." So maybe you might block that person,
Okay.
right? And because you're not interested in the person's events. Well, this is what happened, and so he got upset with another person at the meeting who wasn't receiving his flyers.
Okay.
And it became this big thing about, well, I keep sending you this and I keep inviting you to this, but you don't respond. Well, maybe they're not getting the hint, and maybe as to adults, they should have said, like, hey, I'm not interested in your events, rather than blocking the person. But that's today, in today's technology,
Yep.
you just block him, and you just silently block them, so they think they're sending you stuff, but you're not really seeing anything that they're sending. Right. And so that's today's technology. So this big crazy thing happened, and I'm thinking, I guess it would have blown up on their side eventually, but like on my side, I just let bygones be bygones and move on.
Right.
But these people, and then we went to this event, and we didn't put. It was everybody had an envelope, and we didn't put anything on the thing. Which, I'm thinking like, well, maybe I should have put $10 in there, but I wasn't thinking, because we were going to another event that we had to pay some money to. So I just said, well, I'm going to skip this event and not the other one. Which, if I have an event, you put envelopes, and not everybody's going to donate.
Right.
Right. So, well, it is what it is. So I guess this thing was just building up. So the June 9th event, we're going to change it around a little bit, and I'm going to partner with Denver Open Media, which that's what I was going to partner with in the first place to do this concert.
Right.
So I was just jumping the gun and doing it with someone else, and maybe this is telling me to go back to the original idea. And I saw the guy in King Supers yesterday, but I didn't recognize his voice, and I was going to email him and say, hey, when are we going to have our first meeting? And there he was yesterday. So now sometimes things happen, and sometimes you're not listening, you're listening.
So to bring this back to the donkey,
Yes.
donkey tells you very clearly, hey, I'm just a dumbass, but you got to listen to me. And, it's up to us to whether we want to listen to the right dumbass or not.
Yes.
That what this boils down to?
Yes. And it's like, and man, how you get, I often in my life, and it happened to my daughter, and she's still young and she still plays with us a little bit, but sometimes you get the gut feeling, because I had a gut feeling all day that it just wasn't feeling right in my gut and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I was younger, I used to go with it just to see what would happen. Now that I got older, I said, if I'm not feeling right about it in my gut, and things are happening, maybe I should go another direction.
Right.
Now, my youngest daughter, she she's 34 now. She's gonna be 34 this month. She'll still go for it. And when I was younger, I did. And sometimes you'll lose a lot of money, or just crazy things will happen if you just don't listen to that inner voice saying, "Hey, go another direction."
That's right. That still small voice that tells you where to go, how to guide your steps. That comes from experience. Now, we were talking a bit about experience earlier, and the best way is experience, wielding that sword of the Spirit, which is, of course, that word of God. And it's real easy. If you don't have a relationship with God, today is your lucky day. You can visit 1 Corinthians chapter 15, read that whole chapter. You got Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the four Gospels. Some people call the book of John the book of love. So if you want to ease on in, why, this is a cool book. It's got intrigue in it. It's got sex in it. It's got violence in it. It's the greatest ever told, folks.
Oh man, I mean, and it just lays it out there like, people really haven't really changed. If you read Ecclesiastic, nothing's new under the sun. And that's very true, man. That's very true.
That's right.
And keep our brother D'Angelo in prayer. His little brother, I guess he was driving a car and I don't know, some kid under 16 or 17 had a gun, and this lady accidentally bumped the car, and this kid jumps out of the passenger seat and shoots the lady, kills her, right? And so because he was driving the car, they try to, in the court, they try to make it look like it was a gang thing, but it was just this stupid kid with a gun who didn't need to have a gun. And so his brother is gone. The kid will probably get out when he's like 21, but they sent him away for life, so he has to go ahead and reappeal. So D'Angelo wasn't at the meeting because he was so depressed about this, and he's letting the situation take over and not trusting in God, that God had a plan for his little brother. Since his little brother wouldn't listen to what he was saying, his brother has to be seasoned a little bit more, so he'll listen to good advice from older people that been there, done that.
Yeah, it's definitely a cakewalk, folks. So yeah, keep D'Angelo, his brother, up in prayer, and realize that we're going to keep you up in prayer as well. We're going to lift you up in prayer. This whole planet of ours is running down like a clock, but there is hope, and that's eternal. And we believe that hope is Jesus Christ. So
yes. So so I put that scripture in the description. You'll see that you could go read it for yourself, and put your comments below on what you think. And so 1939, Hattie. Okay, I think Hattie McDaniel was born 1892. She died in October 26, 52? Yeah, I think it was 1952 or 19. Yeah, I didn't bring up I think it was 1952. So she had won this, the first Black lady to win the award. And I remember the speech. She says, "I'm so proud to be a credit to my race." Right? And I'm thinking, now she's a comedian. She's a comedian. Her birthday was June 11th, and she was a comedian, and she played that role up kind of like comedically as well as dramatically and all that kind of stuff. And so now we have this lady who was the first Asian lady, Michelle, who won last night, and she says, now girls who look like me will watch this, and they said things are possible, And I'm thinking like, there was a lot of Asian women that played in other movies that should have won a long time ago, but the Academy, I don't know about the Academy. Sometimes it has its interesting points. But what do you think about the movie? That the one I'm going to go watch the movie. And like I said, I didn't bring it up here, but you'll see what the movie is, the name of the movie. But I'm going to go watch it to see what the movie was about. and of course, we were going to watch the Elvis movie, but we haven't got around to watching that one yet. That's a little bit more interesting to me, besides like music wise.
Right.
And so that I think that one just for soundtrack, the best sound. Now, wow, that's kind of like a swipe. But yeah, so that was the only thing that won last night. And of course, I personally didn't sit down and watch it last night. I was doing something else. Oh, yes. I'm working with a guy today. We got a new volunteer he's a tech guy. And so he's going to get our numbers up with YouTube. And I was watching this video yesterday about these two guys and talking about how to move the algorithms. Well, this guy says he knows how to do this. And so we're going to be working on some of that stuff today. And then I'm going to finish up a grant that we should get in May to do the summer concert with Denver Open Media. So a lot of things are going on today. Just remember, I guess the main thing to remember in this show is listen to your gut feeling. If God is telling you something, whether you believe in him or not, sometimes you just got to listen to that little inner voice and follow his lead rather than your lead. Because you may have all these great plans, but God has another plan.
That's
Oh man. So anyway,
happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, happy Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow here on InnervisionFM, right? All right, something like that.